In today's gospel, Jesus' parable about the blind leading a blind is not about physical blindness, but about spiritual guidance. It highlights the importance of not misguiding and leading others astray, but the need for us to pray and discern our choice of words and actions. The good trees are known for the fruit they produce and the nourishment they provide for others. Hence, the very words we say and the work we do will show and make clear what it is in our hearts. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks. Let us reflect on three things. First is about the gift of speech. The gospel invites us to reflect on how to have a true and meaningful conversation with charity, choosing our words carefully and ensuring that our motivation for fraternal correction is done out of charity for the benefit of the other person's well-being. How often do we say things in the height of our emotion that we later regret? Words spoken in anger can wound deeply, while words spoken with kindness and encouragement can heal and uplift the other person. Let us ask for the grace that our words will always be a communication of love and encouragement, and not to follow bitterness or pride to take root in our hearts. The words that come out of us will make known the hidden thoughts of our hearts and is the principal criterion for evaluating a person's character and inner life. What do my words say about me? Do they bring life, or do they cause harm to others? Now, we love to point finger at others, but when someone points it at us, we are quick to defend our actions and make excuses for our own failures. Have we been quick to point out someone else's mistake, only to later realize that we had our own faults to work on? Now, today's gospel reminds us that we need to make an honest look at ourselves first before we see the flaws of others. When we criticized and condemned others, maybe it's a mirror of what is inside us and the very condition of our spiritual heart. The second thing I wanted to reflect on is speaking about the greatest truth. Now, having lived in this country for more than 2 decades, I have noticed that there are many sorts of interesting conversations one can have. One is always the weather, about sports, especially football or holidays, etc., etc. However, there is nothing more important than speaking and sharing with others the greatest truth of our salvation. When we come here on a Sunday, this is a celebration of Christ's passion, death, and resurrection. And it's good to share it with other people, your family and friends, and those you work with. And the greatest truth we can speak in love is the ultimate victory of Christ over sin and death through the resurrection of Jesus. It encourages us to stand firm in our faith and to live with confidence and hope. No matter what challenges we face, we are assured of the victory of Christ. In our spoken words and through our witnessing, by living out of our daily duties according to our respective vocations. The third one I wanted to reflect on is about called for a transformation in Christ. Now, we are all blind in some ways, accepting that we are fallen short of God's grace, and to humbly ask to be transformed in Christ. One that is not superficial, but deeply rooted in our relationship with Him through prayer, our frequent reception of the sacraments, and the openness to God's grace in our hearts, so we can live a life that bears abundant fruit. Lastly, this coming Wednesday, the 5th of March, is Ash Wednesday and the start of Lent. We will take this opportunity to continue our reflection on these three things, as I've mentioned. One, the gift of speech, that our chosen words will be a source of blessing and encouragement to others. Second, the greatest truth of Jesus' death and resurrection, His victory over sin and death, to be able to share it with others, not just in words, but also through our witnessing. And the third one is the transformative power of God and His Word in our lives.